What's up, everybody? We're going to do a somewhat different type of video today where I'm just going to sit and chat about one of my favorite subjects, which is why the rogue is the best class you're ever going to play in a tabletop RPG or in any CRPG setting. Now, this does not go for MMOs or MMORPGs, at least not that I've found to date. But I think in a tabletop scenario, they've always been my favorite class, and in any CRPG I've ever played, I always play a rogue first and foremost. But there are different types of rogues. So, what kind of rogue am I talking about? Which is the best style to go through any type of game? So, usually when you get a rogue class, there's subsets, right? You get like the assassin subset, the thief subset. There might be some sort of swashbuckler. It kind of varies on what you're going to get. I traditionally like to think of the rogues that I play as sort of um, they are often intelligent, but they have a variety of circumstances that kept them from pursuing education or a life in high society. Maybe they're orphans, but as opposed to being cutthroat thieves and murderers, they are more of I don't want to say the dashing Han Solo, scruffy nerfherder kind of guy, but kind of, yeah, like Captain Malcolm, Captain Reynolds, Han Solo type character. I like playing those kinds of characters from a roleplay perspective, but also from the perspective of these are capable individuals who are good in a fight. They're fairly loyal to their friends, despite the fact that they kind of operate a little bit underneath the law. And they generally have a roundabout group of abilities, which means they can pick locks, open traps, disarm traps, find traps, maybe pick pockets here and there. They've got some pretty good persuasion skills, decent charisma, and they're good with either a sword or, in the case of like a sci-fi setting, a blaster. I have a character called Donovan, who I've done a few short stories about over the years, and he is a smuggler type character, rogue type character. So when I picture a rogue in my mind, this is what I'm thinking of. You've got a guy who's, reasonably handsome. Some might call him dashing. I don't think that that's necessarily the case, but he's got that scruffy nerf herder look to him, that scruffy charm. He's used to life on the streets, and he can blend in fairly easily if he needs to. But when I think of a rogue, I don't necessarily think of. There's some other pictures here I want to look at. This is one of the best representations of just when I think of a rogue character, this is what I think. But also, I like the idea of this. The guy who's coming out of the vault. He's managed to pick the locks. He's fairly well equipped. He likes coin. You'll see some goblin corpses around the floor there. So he's capable of handling himself in a pinch, and he doesn't need a full party behind him to get in and get out. Now, he works well with the party when he can, which is why I always love going back to like the Han Solo one is okay. He's working with a partner, maybe two or three other people, depending on the caper. But I like always looking more at the Firefly scenario where you've got a crew of 5 to 8 adventurers, and that rogue character fits well within the subset of classes that you have available at your disposal, which is one of the reasons why whenever I play in a CRPG, I always take the rogue first off. Mostly because I want to be able to, pick all the locks, disarm all the traps, open all the doors, and get all the cool extra fluff stuff that comes along the way. But also because I like to be up there at the forefront of the party, being the conversationalist, the leader of the party, because I feel like a lot of people, when they play a rogue, they're thinking more of this type of character. And this is not the type of rogue that I play. This is not the type of rogue that I like. This is more of the thief character, working with the Thieves Guild. You're sneaking into houses, you're, murdering people, you're possibly some sort of an evil alignment, and you're a nefarious denizen of the underworld. That's not the type of rogue that I like to play. I like playing those chaotic good characters who are just on the wrong side of the law, but they still have the abilities of the rogue without getting into the whole cutthroat, I'm going to go rob someone's house, and kill anybody I come across along the way. Although in the case of this guy, we don't know what those goblins were doing there, so he might have taken them out on the way in. They might have been guards. They might have been an innocent family, and he might have just gone in and stolen their family treasures and heirlooms. We don't know. So, maybe I should think before I speak. I rarely ever think about this type of rogue when I am, in my mind, thinking about the rogue type character. I would almost say that I sort of lean towards the swashbuckler, although the swashbuckler tends to have less, like, mechanical abilities at their disposal, and I like a guy who's going to be fairly mechanical in nature. So he's got those, he's got the lockpicks. He might not be the best with like poisons and stuff, but he's got the lockpicks down. He's got the forging down. He's got the disguises down. He's got the ability to think quick and be witty and talk his way out of most situations without needing to rely upon violence. But if push comes to shove, he's got enough training behind him that he can take care of himself. This is one of the least appealing types of rogues to me ever, and I find that one of the reasons I don't like rogues in MMOs and MMORPGs is because most of the time they push you towards this, which is the cloak and dagger, got some sort of a sneak invisibility ability, but I'm all about like jumping from the rooftops and triple backflips and pew 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 rapid fire with a bow, or I'm in there slicing and dicing with two daggers or two long swords and stab stab stabbity stab. I don't find those types of thief type characters, rogue type characters to be that interesting to me, although they are one of the subsets of the rogue, which again is one of the reasons why I think the rogue is the best class in any RPG, tabletop, CRPG, etc., because there's so much versatility to what the rogue can be. Now, compare that to, say, a fighter. Yeah, a fighter can do many different things in terms of being a martial expert, but at the end of the day, that's it. It's sort of, you're a martial expert. You don't necessarily have all of the skills and abilities that a rogue character is going to have, although you could theoretically multi-spec, multi-class your way to that eventually. And some would argue that, well, mages can be lots of different types of mages. There's all these different schools of magic. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you're still just a mage. Whereas a rogue can be many things. He's not just a rogue. He can be a swashbuckler, a pirate, an actor, a bard. Although I think bards are sometimes their own class, but still. Hopefully you understand where I'm getting at. Hopefully I've made my point. I love rogues. I like those scruffy nerfherders, man. For me, that's always going to be the class that I gravitate to first when I get the chance to play. There's something about it. I love it. So let me know your thoughts below. What is your favorite class to play? What do you think about my decision here to call the rogue the best class of any tabletop RPG, CRPG, and beyond? Love to hear your thoughts. Drop them down below. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. And of course, if you want to support, hopefully you do, because it keeps me on the air full time. It keeps the cats fed. I've got Mary and Sam, it looks like, and Smeagol is over here passed out on the chair at my feet. And somebody's meowing at the door, and it's because Christina's whole family was here for church a little while ago, and they're all freaked out and hiding. Anyway, folks, support if you can. Super chats, super stickers, super thanks, memberships, the Patreon page. Get a copy of our tabletop stuff. See you in Discord as well. And until next time, everybody, stay safe, happy gaming, and hopefully some happy roguing in your day as well.